Hi everybody doing? This is your boy Harlan and I'm back with another video. This will be our breakdown, our top-down analysis. Like I always told you that I'll be having top-down analysis from 10 pairs from my trading portfolio. So today we're having US30, Dow Jones Industrial Averages Index. So there's going to be a top-down analysis, financial disclaimer. Everything I say you do, it's entirely based on my own experience. But US30 might do it. US30 might not move the way I anticipate. So everything that we're going to do, it's entirely based on what we see, what we know, and what the market will be doing before me people. So like I say, this is financial disclaimer. I'll be looking at things which I know from my own experience and know from my own personal drive and everything that I've encountered throughout my trading experience. So like I say, everything I say or do, it's based on my own opinion and my own experience. Without further ado, let's just hop in let's trust the process. We're having the monthly time frame right now. So looking at the monthly time frame, let's look at like we once had price having this high right there, this higher high right there, and then price pushing to the downside, which was more like a COVID-19 market crash. So from this push, now price started reversing with a portion and exhaustion and a portion and exhaustion, breaking this previous higher high right there, trading above the previous high, continuing to the upside, having that all-time high 2021. So from this all-time high 2021, price started pushing to the downside before me people, coming back to which zone? This particular zone, giving us a 2022 resistance people before me. So a 2022 support zone, I mean people. So from this support zone, price tapped once 2021 and pushed, giving us an all-time high, came back 2022 on the 1st of June, the first month of June, price tapped that very same zone and reacted and started pushing, also creating that 2020 that like I was saying, people, never mind that I was on a call. So with now price printing out a support, a monthly support and a 2022 right there, 2022 resistance right there. All I'm waiting for, all I'd be expecting, because price once had an impulsive breakout and a break back in, and price continued to the upside on our resistance. So now price, when I see now price holding this resistance right there, all I'm simply waiting for is for either price to break out to continue to our all-time highs. But okay, I'm either looking for price to break out and continue to our all-time highs and give us some sort of a double top and pull back or exhaust, or if price continues pushing to the upside and breaks the all-time high. Let's just look at price having those new all-time highs, you feel me, people. But at the same time, this is just a monthly time frame perspective. Because price is holding resistance, it might happen that like price might fail to break this resistance and continue moving to the downside, trading our support zone. We don't know. So now my take from the monthly time frame is, as long as price is still holding this major sell zone or this major resistance, I'm still looking for price to be bearish. But if price closes above in some type of way, let's look for price continuing being bullish. So that's my take from the monthly time frame. I'm looking for price to hold resistance, or I'm looking for price to break out of resistance. So looking at the weekly, so looking at the weekly, you can tell that like what I'm talking about right there, from the previous high, double top, push to the downside, push exhaustion, push exhaustion, push exhaustion, breaking out of this all-time high, double top, and continuing to the upside with some sort of a double top on our all-time high resistance, and price started pushing to the downside, spiking. You can even tell that like price spiked twice. Price spiked twice right there, and price pushed to the downside on our support, continuing to the upside. spiking again the very same sell zone or the support or the resistance zone which I'm talking about for 2022, continuing to the downside below our support, below our major support zone, and breaking impulsively inside this very same zone. And price started holding resistance, breaking out and breaking in, breaking out and breaking in, breaking out and breaking in, breaking out and breaking in. So now looking at current price from the weekly time frame, when I'm looking at the weekly time frame, price has been tapping right there for how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth. This is the fourth week. Price is rejecting this zone. So with price having multiple week rejections from the weekly time frame and price holding the zone on the so from price holding the zone on the monthly time frame and price rejecting the very same zone on the weekly time frame, what do we expect? Do we still see price having a breakout, or do we see price failing to break and dropping to the downside on 2023 with a big continuation to the downside? We don't know. We're just anticipating. So like I said on the weekly time frame, like I said on the monthly, I'm only looking to continue bullish once we have price trading above our major sell zone or our 2022 resistance. If price fails to break and continues holding the zone and gives us some sort of a bear momentum and that bear momentum and that bullish depletion, I would expect what or look for continuations to the downside. So that's my take from the weekly time frame. So looking at the monthly looking at the daily to try and see how is price holding the zone right there. How is our resistance sitting right there? So this, price once hit a what? So when I look at this now, price once moved sideways right there. You understand me, people? So price once moved sideways. You follow me? Price once moved sideways. So when price having a what? A sideways movement right there, and price breaking out, retesting, breaking, continuing to the downside, coming back for some sort of a double top, pushing to the downside, tapping on our support, continuing to the upside on resistance, continuing to the upside on resistance, and price continuing again to the downside, breaking below our support, breaking back above, breaking out again, breaking above, continuing to the upside. Now, when you still continue with our move right there, you can tell that like price has been breaking out and breaking in and holding those very same zone. So current price, we're moving sideways. So when I'm looking at what's happening on current price, because you can tell that like price has been holding resistance for quite a long time right now, and prices respecting resistance. We're not having a breakout. So now when I look at this, prices overall moving sideways right there. We're in a sideways movement, prices moving in one zone. And price yesterday, we kind of like had a breakout and a break back in and a big close below our resistance, for me, people. So with the things that I'm looking at and how the market is trying to show me something, the only thing that I'm saying again, people, I repeat, the only thing I'm looking for is for price to trade above resistance, have the retest and continue to the upside. As long as price is still holding below resistance, I would still look for that bear momentum to the downside, because we're having a fall to break from the monthly, from the weekly, and from the daily. You follow me, people? Like I say, I'm looking for price to trade above or for price to fall to break. Looking at the 4-hour. So you can tell, like I say, price is moving sideways from the 4-hour. You feel me? Like price is still like holding some type of that zone right there. Price is holding this zone, this very same zone. Price is holding this very same zone. I love it from there. Price has been tapping in and pushing, tapping in and pushing. So yesterday with a breakout and a break back in, you guys know how I trade breakout and break back in. Price had a breakout and a break back in. I'm looking for a retest above. I'm looking for a retest below to continue to the downside. So that will be my take today. But unfortunately, today it's a Wednesday. I don't trade on Wednesdays, you for me. But I'll be analyzing and I'll be putting my ass up on the charts. So like I say, people, from the daily, from the monthly, the daily, the weekly, from the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and looking at the 4-hour. Long as price is still holding resistance, I will continue bearish with price. But if I get it close above, before me, people, I will look for continuations to the upside. So I don't need to hop into the hourly time frame, because now I know what I'm looking for from the monthly, the 4-hour, from the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour. Long as price is still holding this major sell zone or this 2022 resistance, I will still look for those B momentums or those B reversals to the downside. But if price trades above or price closes above our major resistance or sell zone, I will look for continuations to the upside. That's the only thing I'm looking for. That's my take. Not really looking for much, not really looking for less. Like I said, this is a top-down analysis. Everything that I share, I'm looking at it from a bigger time frame, from a swing trade perspective before me, people. So that's all I got in this video.